Hey guys, before this video begins, I just wanted to make a quick announcement. Next week, we will not have a new episode of Breaking Bad. And I know that I think this is like the worst possible timing I could have. But yeah, it's just sort of how it worked out. I am coming up on Christmas break. I know this is probably going out this is probably going out long after Christmas, but it's just the way I record. I'm coming up on Christmas, and I'm taking a 1-week break at Christmas. So, next week we will not have a new episode of Breaking Bad. Instead, we're just gonna come back 2 weeks from now. So, 2 weeks from now, we will be back with episode 8. So yeah, just wanted to let you guys know. Hey guys, it's Alex from 7th Hour Films, back again with Breaking Bad. Last time on Breaking Bad, we had Buyout, where the guys had to deal with Todd, and they unfortunately decided to keep him on and just, be sure that this doesn't happen again, where he kills a kid, basically. And then they basically... okay, let's see. The DEA is hot on Mike's ass. They are watching him at all times. And so he is out. Also, Jesse is out because they killed a kid, and he's kind of done with this. And then they were like, look, Mr. White, we're out. We're just going to take our third of the methylamine and be gone. And yeah, they were doing that, and they were going to sell it, but the seller, or the buyer, wants all of the methylamine and to completely wipe out the Heisenberg blue meth competition. Which is a problem, because that means trying to get Walt's share, which he doesn't want to get rid of. And then, at the end, it seemed that Walt stole all the methylamine, and Mike was about to kill him, but he does have some sort of a plan, and Mike is willing to hear him out. So yeah. This is where I say no spoilers in the comments whatsoever. This is also where I say that if you want to watch my reaction to this episode of Breaking Bad, what you gotta do is head down in the description or to the pinned comment, click on the link there. That will take you over to the reaction. You can watch it just like a normal reaction, and when you're done with that, you can pop right back over here to this YouTube video for the discussion. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get right into this episode of Breaking Bad. Here we go. And there goes probably my third favorite character in the show. I mean, you guys know Jesse is my favorite character. I might put Saul next at number 2. But honestly, actually, maybe I might put Mike at number 2. And then maybe Saul, and then Gus. Walter's in there somewhere. That is the end of Mike Ehrmantraut. Damn. Damn, that sucks. That means it's just Walt, Jesse, and Saul. No more Gus, no more Mike. Man. I hope that somehow his granddaughter does get the money to live a good life. Maybe Walt will give up some money for that. Who knows? Oh, that just sucks, man. That just sucks. Now, okay, I think I remember someone saying that there is a mid-season finale in season 5. I don't remember though if it was supposed to be this episode or the next episode. I don't know. That was a pretty big episode. So if you told me it was this one, I would understand. But it might be next episode, which, yeah, that's unfortunate that we're taking the week off between this episode and next episode, if that is the case. So, but that's all right. Oh, Walt. It seems in your anger, in your arrogance, you killed him. And he knew he was gone. He knew he was gone. And it's just, don't talk. Shut the fuck up and let me die in peace. Jesus. As far as last words go, those are hell of last words. Shut the fuck up and let me die in peace. Jeez, man. That just sucks. I mean, we've been building up conflict between Mike and Walt just over the past few seasons, so it was definitely going to come to a boiling point, you know? And I was hopeful that he would just be out, you know? That he would just be out and that'd be that, but no. No. That doesn't work. It does make me wonder, though, how that... kind of makes me wonder how this would have been different if Saul was his lawyer doing this. You know? Because Saul says, like, why did Mike use that hack? You know? Could Saul have really, like, pulled that off without the DEA getting noticed? I don't know. We don't know. I would be curious about that, but that's the thing, is that this would have still worked out if Walt didn't shoot him. And he realizes it later. He realizes it later that Lydia could give him the names. And Lydia, I feel like, would be more than happy to do that. Of course, it makes you wonder, like, you know, what... It makes you wonder, what was Walt going to do with the guys? Was he going to try to kill them, or was he going to pay them off? Just, you know, make sure nobody actually knew about it. You know, use Saul to do it instead. We don't know. We don't know. And I guess we will find out, because Walt will have to go get the names, but still. We can go ahead and hop into the notes on this one. The first thing I wrote down is New Deal. So that was interesting with this guy named Declan. Which, yeah, I guess, yeah, he did call him Declan in the last episode, but I just noticed it on the episode description here. Walt tries to strike up a deal with Declan. That's just a cool name, Declan. So, yeah, that was interesting that, you know, because Mike was retiring, obviously Walt would still need distribution, so he was going to use Declan and his crew, basically, to do that. And I like all that, you know, you guys handle distribution, you'll make more money than you could have ever hoped for on your own. And I like, because, like, you know, throughout this whole conversation, it seems like Declan really isn't going to budge on this one. You know, he's like, whatever, you know, I don't need this. But then I like when it finally sets in who he is, you know, who he's talking to. And it's like, I'm the man that killed Gus Fring, you know? And I like this to say my name. You're Heisenberg. You're goddamn right. Like, oh my gosh, that was insane, man. That was totally insane. But I love that, just him reveling in being Heisenberg. That's just so good. So I like that. I like that. Because that's the thing. He's more Heisenberg than Walt now. More machine now than man. More Heisenberg now than Walt. And it's true. Heisenberg is kind of taken over. I feel like once he shot Mike, I feel like that was the one point where it's like, no, that's Walt realizing he made a mistake, you know? So I like that. And then we have out. Out am I? Well, yes, they were out. They were out. Mike was out. Jesse is out. And it's interesting how they talk about it. You know, Walt obviously thinks, no, there's no way Jesse's going to be out. But, yeah, he is. He is done. And I like how they say it's like, look, you know, Walt is thinking like, oh, yes, bad things happen. But that shouldn't stop us, you know, we'll do better. And it's like, because he also says like, well, now that we're in charge, things will be different. And it's like, dude, you were in charge and a kid died. Todd murdered a child. Like, don't even, like, it's too late for that now. You failed, you know? You failed. And that's the thing, is that that doesn't work. You know, Jesse is out because it's clear things will not get any better, you know? And so he is willing to take his $5 million and leave. Go live a life, you know? And I don't blame him. So Walt had a lot of flimsy arguments, I feel like, with trying to convince Jesse, but it's obvious he doesn't want to lose Jesse, you know? I mean, plus the fact that he does legitimately care for him, you know? He legitimately cares for him, and I like, you know, when he says, like, you have the best cook. No, 2 of the best cooks. Like, he acknowledges how good Jesse is. You know, Jesse, he says, you're as good as I am when it comes to making this stuff, you know? And he is that good. So that's the thing. But just because this is the only thing you have left in your life, Walt, doesn't mean it's the only thing that Jesse has left in his life. And I like that Jesse holds true. And he even holds true without the $5 million when Walt's like, oh, it's blood money. You don't want it. And he's like, all right then. I'm just going to leave then. Because I am out. Forget the money. I am out. So I'm glad for that. Now, whether or not that's going to last, we'll have to see. But I there's a part of me that kind of hopes it does, you know? But I don't think that this is, you know, I obviously don't think this is the last time we're going to see Jesse. But hopefully if he does get dragged back in, it's because he is literally dragged back in. Not that he wants to come back, but that he's dragged back in, you know? So, we'll have to see. We had the search warrant, which was interesting. You know, Mike basically clearing out. He was done. So I like that. But he did have, you know, he had a bag ready. He had a bag ready in case he ever needed to bail. And he was all clean. And they didn't get anything from that search warrant. So that was cool. The dogs are barking next door. I don't know why. You probably can't hear that, though. Oh, well. Also, something different for our Breaking Bad reactions. I'm doing this at night. It's a little after 6 o'clock at night. So, yeah. It's just that's just how it ended up today because this morning I recorded Doctor Who and it was a big episode, so I did that first, which means just doing Breaking Bad last. So yeah. No favorites. I wrote that down. Hank can't play favorites with cases, which is interesting because yeah, it's like, okay, you're in charge. You have a lot of cases you need to be doing, but he's focusing on Mike specifically because it's a continuation of the Fring case, which was his case, you know? But he did make a break on it. He did get a break on that case, so yeah. We had Todd taking over for Jesse as a cook, which was interesting. And, you know, because it's like, he has pretty much no experience in this. But, you know, I think Walt does look at it like, okay, yeah, you know, he's still got a lot of work to do, but he can do this, you know. Now, I would imagine that he's probably thinking like, oh, well, you know, I would rather have Jesse, obviously. But if Todd can get the hang of it, then that would be pretty good, you know? That would be pretty good. So yeah, because I mean, even Jesse, you know, the first time he made his own batch of blue, it wasn't as good. You know, it was very close, but it wasn't as good. Like, it was marginally less quality, and that was the thing. I think that was the first batch that, or at least that was one of the batches that Walt gave to Gus, and I remember that scene where it's like, where Gus was saying, it's like, well, my people have said that it's more or less the same quality, you know? But since then, Jesse has improved to where, yeah, he makes the stuff exactly as good as Walt does now, because he's gotten better. So Todd may take a while, but Todd could, you know, get up to that level, potentially. And I think Walt does think it's good when he says, you know, it's like, oh, well, we'll talk money after I get this right. It's like, okay, that's a good attitude. Like, he's concerned with the cook, basically. So, yeah, that's interesting. Granted, again, I'm sure Walt would prefer having Jesse there. So, yeah. And then we had Mike, the DEA finally going after Mike through the other lawyer, which was interesting. That was interesting. You know, it makes you wonder. It's like, okay, so the reason is that, you know, that lawyer, it's just because, you know, oh, he represents all of them except Mike. Saul represents Mike. But it'd be interesting to think, it would be an interesting sort of, like, maybe someone could theorize, like, what would it have been like if Saul was the one that was handling the deliveries instead of this guy, you know? Like, I wonder how that would have affected it, you know? So I like that. And yeah, so he ended up flipping on Mike, and so yeah, they were coming after him, so he had to get out of there. And while he was almost there, and he finally, you know, he was almost there, and he did finally tell off Walt, although it's not like Mike hasn't spoken his mind before, but still, you know, he told off Walt. It's like, no, this is your fault. We had a good thing with Gus, and, you know, you are the one who ruined all this. And that just sent Walt over the edge, and he shot him. But he was immediately remorseful. He immediately thought, crap, I messed up. I just killed a man for no reason, you know? And Mike is now dead, unfortunately. That is sad. That is sad. Yes. I'm not going to remember to put that clip in, am I? No, see, okay, if I don't put it in, I'll just say I'm referencing Dragon Ball Z Abridged, where Android 16 says, that is sad. And then Imperfect Cell says, yes. Of course, it's entirely possible now that I will remember to put up that clip, in which case this has all just been for nothing. But yeah, that's it. Where are we going to go from here? I have no idea. Walt's kind of on his own now, but we'll have to see how long that lasts. And even though, you know what it is? It seems like every time Hank is about to get somewhere with a lead, they die. Gale, Gus, and Mike, all of them. A lead is, he's on track with a lead, and then they end up dying before he can solve anything. And that's the thing. That's why he has this continual case of Heisenberg, is because he can never get to the person before they end up dying. Yeah, that is really interesting. Gale, Gus, and now Mike. He's been very, very close multiple times, but they just die, leaving something left, But Gale, Gus, Mike, the next place this can go is back to Walt. So we'll have to see if he still goes on with the Heisenberg case. Then his next target would end up being, well, I guess either Walt or Jesse, but still, of course, he's gone after Jesse before. That never works out. So it's kind of down to Walt, even if he doesn't know it yet. So yeah, that is pretty much it. Once again, next week we will not be watching an episode of Breaking Bad. I'm taking a break for Christmas, but come back in 2 weeks and we will watch the next episode. So with all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. If you want to watch more of my Breaking Bad reactions, you can click on the playlist, you can subscribe if you haven't done that already, and be sure you hit that notification bell. You can support me on Patreon and follow me on social media, links below in the description. See you guys later.